All right, it opened almost 200 years ago. We're talking about the Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany. It's known as one of the most haunted places in Western New York.
That building is now open for tours and private events. We were all going to go, but then we decided let's just have Sam Carter check it out first just to make sure it's safe. Taking one for the team, Sam.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate that, guy. Make the new guy get spirit stuff. It's Halloween, it's spirit stuff. If you've been watching the show, you know that I am a big scaredy cat. Here we are, Rolling Hills Asylum, which is not just one of the most haunted places in Western New York. It's actually one of the most haunted places in the world. Joining me right now is Sharon Coyle. Sharon, you own and operate the Rolling Hills Asylum, but this isn't just a business. This was an actual operating asylum, right?
Right. It used to be an old poorhouse in 1827 when we opened, and then this building that we're standing right by opened up in 1938 as the old county infirmary, and then we went into the old county nursing home and closed in 74. So a lot of history here.
Oh, man. Okay, so we're going to go in. There are spirits, ghosts, for lack of a better term, here. It's really scary in there. We're going to bring all of that to you all day. You mind showing me around the place a little bit?
Absolutely.
Let's rock and roll. All right, we're going in. This is not great. Okay, here we go.
You're gonna be great.
Okay, this is gonna be something.
Sorry, I'm so alpha. Grab the handle.
Just if the door just slammed shut, like
Yeah.
boom, like in the movies.
And our photographer can't follow him in.
No,
it's locked.
he can't. You check in, but you don't check out.
We will.
I discovered a great streaming service. It's free.
Yeah.
It's called Tubi.
Okay.
Tubi?
I don't know.
T-U-B-I.
You're telling me.
Anyway, I saw a commercial for it, an advertisement for it, and you can stream all these scary movies that they're doing for Halloween.
See, that's right up your alley.
I found a bunch, and I watched one last night. It was pretty good.
All right.
Called Don't Speak. Kind of based on A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
The whole idea that this creature can track his prey by sound.
You love that stuff.
All right, let's talk about something else.
We'll check in with Sam and see if he survives this morning. Great news for Bills fans.
Well, for today, we're going to see a return to some sunshine. Looks like some nice looking weather coming up for us. A warm day as well. We're starting off not far from 60 right now. We'll get up to near 80 for a high this afternoon.
All right, if you want to hear a grown man scream, now's the time. It opened almost 200 years ago, and Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany is known as one of the most haunted places in the country.
The building is now open for tours and private events, and we were all set to go. But you know what? We figured, I think this is up Sam Carter's alley.
Yeah.
He's there to make sure it's safe.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I am here in Rolling Hills Asylum inside a very long hallway in the basement. It is legit creepy in here. I hope you guys are getting a sense of that. Joining me once again is Sharon Coyle. Sharon, talk to me a little bit about what you're doing with this red light.
Well, first of all, we're in the tunnel, and this is a red laser grid. And when we put these out, sometimes they're green, sometimes they're red. And all those red dots out there, if a spirit were to walk in front of it, it will cut out the red laser light, and then you'll be able to see that there's a shadow cutting through the room.
Okay, so we're right now we're looking for a spirit down here. I'm like examining the red dots because I do not want there to be a spirit. Oh my god. In your left hand though, you're holding, because you're also a paranormal investigator. In your left hand, what are you holding?
This is a millimeter. This is an older model because I believe that my juju's all over and I don't want to get a newer model.
Sure thing.
But this one here has EMF, which is the double numbers at the top, which are 00, which is perfect. That means there's no electromagnetic field going on in here. So if a spirit were to come over and interact with this and those numbers went up, then we would know that there was a spirit around.
Okay.
The bomb number is the ambient air temperature, so it's 63.8 degrees down here.
Beautiful, great.
And then the green light at the top, and there are lights to the right of it. If another spirit came over and changed the temperature in an immediate range around here, if they were a cold energy, they'd flash blue, that whole row right there. And if it was a warm energy, it would flash red, and we were seeing it flash blue. A minute ago, there were people over here.
We were actually, we genuinely were. We genuinely were. Yeah, no draft. Now coming up at 6:30, Sharon and I are going to be inside Rolling Hills Morgue, which we've been in already. We've seen a spirit. Sharon, we're gonna head there now. Let's go.
That's great.
I am really
My
scared.
favorite place.
Sharon, what? What?
Did she say they're going to the morgue?
Yeah, she said my favorite place, yes.
Ooh.
Can you tell Sam's a little nervous this morning?
It's dark in there, and
Yeah.
all you have is the top light of the camera.
It's-
to
yeah.
light your path. So,
Definitely a creepy vibe.
and all the stuff peeling off the
Yeah.
walls. Yeah, it kind of might not be my favorite place to spend my time either.
No. You like a good haunted house, though.
Yeah, I know that
We've done
we'll be
those
coming
before.
out on the other side.
You've heard me scream.
I've heard this grown man scream.
Gotta do that again. All right, it opened almost 200 years ago. The Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany is known as one of the most haunted places in the country. Popular spot this time of year.
A lot of history there. The building now open for tours and private events, and that's where we find Sam Carter.
Guys, good morning. I am still trying to figure out what is so good about it. I'm here at Rolling Hills Asylum, and right now we are entering the morgue of the asylum. This was a real morgue in the asylum. More than 1,000 people died in this building. Joining me again, Sharon Coyle. Sharon, talk to me a little bit about what we're looking at right here.
This is called an Sls Cam. It's a structured light camera system, and it picks up anomalies, and they show up as kind of like a hangman kind of thing, like a skeleton system. A bunch of dots and lines basically that look like a person, like when you're playing hangman. Right now it's trying to manifest. We were getting something a moment ago, and so I'm sure it will come back in a second. It takes a little bit of energy.
Talk to me a little bit about this room. Talk to me where we are right now.
We're in the morgue. It's one of my favorite places. I know it sounds really strange, but we get so much activity down here. We're known for people laying on the morgue table and role-playing and saying things like, I'm not dead, I can't breathe, but really embellishing and really feeling panicky on purpose. And then people will come over, spirits will come over, give you compressions on your chest like they're giving you CPR. People feel like their insides are being squeezed. Sometimes you feel like you're getting your pulse taken either on your neck or your femoral artery or even on your pulse. Other people feel like they're being dragged off the table by their ankles. It's super fun.
Okay, it sounds like something that there's a suit hanging here, Sharon, and it keeps moving, and it's freaking me directly out because it keeps spinning toward the camera.
Right, he wants to interact with everybody. I hung this up years ago thinking, if you're gonna prep a body, you're not gonna put him in his birthday suit in a casket, you're gonna have a suit here. So I hung it up just out of just for something to hang up in here. And it's a coat hanger and a shirt, tie, pants, safety pin onto the coat hanger, and a jacket. That's it. Fishing line, picture hook, and they use it as a pendulum. They'll spin one direction for yes and the other for no. And there's dollar store plastic tablecloths on the window, so I mean we're not airtight, so obviously there'd be draft in here. You'd see the curtains flutter. They don't flutter.
Yeah.
And it does respond to people. Sometimes it goes super, super fast. Sometimes it will vibrate back and forth. Other times it might not do anything. It depends on who's down here, both human and spirit, and if they want to interact with you or not.
Oh, it's so creepy.
It's one of the most documented things that we have in the building, and every major investigator has been down here and can't figure it out.
Before I jump on this table, how can people find you? How can people experience how scary this is?
RollingHillsAsylum.com. You just go on there, you can buy your tickets. We have, we're doing them every night in October. We're doing them 3 times during Fridays, 4 on Saturdays, 3 on Sundays. They're 3 hours long. You get little orientation. You can get tips on how to investigate. We'll come down with you and help you. We walk around and help people get some activity going. It's really fun. Most people that come out in October have never been to a haunted location before, and most people want to come back.
Okay, come out, check this out. It is scary. I'm gonna jump on this table right now. Okay.
So put your tush in the middle.
A tush.
Put your head in the high
A
place.
tush here. Okay. All right. Oh no, this is a horrendous
For 1
idea.
second.
Oh, I
And
don't.
someone's over here. Someone's
Oh, that's going off. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
So I'm gonna see
Whoa.
if we're
Okay.
getting any sort of.
All right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna see if we can't get something going. Until then, let's go back to you guys in the studio. Okay.
Oh boy. So here are my thoughts.
Yes.
There's always an explanation for something. So
Yeah.
I think, just the natural air of the room is
Yeah.
spinning the jacket. I don't think, sometimes you have to, I believe in certain aspects and elements. I like to be scared, but then I also
Yeah.
feel like there's an explanation for
Yeah.
anything.
Do you know what I believe?
What?
I believe in sending Sam into situations that scare him because It's very amusing.
It's entertaining.
Yes.
Also, I was like, is that table clean? When is the last time they cleaned that with some Lysol and wipes? That's what I wanted to know. All right.
It is a popular spot this time of year, the Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany, known as one of the most haunted places in the country.
Okay, so if it's got that reputation, you know that Sam Carter is going to check it out for you, as now tours and private events are now open to the public. We join him now.
I am known as the man without fear, Alexis and Matt, and I'm proving that today. Actually, I'm really scared being here. Right now, we are at Rolling Hills Asylum. We are in what used to be the electroshock therapy room. True story. They used to perform electroshock therapy here. It used to be actually a common thing for people suffering from all sorts of mental illnesses. Once again, joined by Sharon Coyle, who is the owner-operator of this place. Real quick, let's get this out of the way really quick, Sharon. How can people find you and take a tour of really just a fascinating building?
Oh, RollingHillsAsylum.com. We do only pre-sale tickets right through the website, and you can just buy your ticket and come on out.
All right, so this wall I'm looking at is not original. Talk to me about the man who put this up.
Cecil Speakman was our first private owner, and he moved in here when he was in his 70s, and he wanted to create assisted living, like make little apartments. So he didn't have any money once he moved in here. So he went over to our east wing and chiseled out all these cinder block walls by hand with a hammer and a chisel, and put them in a wheelbarrow and carted them over here. And he made this big room into 3 rooms, and when you go down the hallway, there are patched up doorways and things like that. So he would combine other rooms and make 2 or 3 rooms behind one doorway. So it's really patchworky up here. And
So you believe that he is here still?
he is still here. We talked to him quite a bit. We've gotten EVPs from him, which is electronic voice phenomenon. It's when you hear them talking on a recorder. And people have gotten photos of him and all kinds of things. He's around a lot. He'll slam doors, make all kinds of noise.
This place is legit creepy. It's legit scary. If you're into scary stuff, horror stuff, which clearly I am, you can just tell. You need to come down here. You need to check this out. It is really genuinely cool here. This is all legit. All like the history of this place is legit. It is an actual old asylum. It is really freaky here. It is genuinely scary. We're going to be visiting. Where are we going next?
I think you wanted to go over to Shadow Hallway. We might be able to see Jack pacing back and forth down there or something. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to go check out some actual ghosts. We got to get Venkman, Spangler, Winston, Ray down here. This is going to be awesome. Let's go down there. Let's check this out. All right, let's check this out.
Jack. His name's Jack.
Jack, pacing.
Or maybe it's someone just in costume. All right.
Live from the 13 WHAM News Studios, this is Good Day Rochester on Fox Rochester.
Listen, I want to know more about this sketch on SNL.
You got to watch with your man John Cena. It was good.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And I forgot, hey, we have news to deliver to you, of course, including the forecast, which is very important because it's going to be a good one today.
Mostly sunny for much of the day. Warm for October, especially by these standards. Look at that, 80 degrees this afternoon. Get out and enjoy it. We've got pretty much a very nice summer-like week on tap for you before reality will eventually return.
I feel like that Bills player in the clip of the video we're showing coming through the tunnel, just very excited. That's how I feel right now. All right, we are talking about a piece of history, Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany, known as one of the most haunted places in Western New York. There's good reason for that.
Yeah, the building is now open for tours and private events, and Sam Carter is there this morning.
He looks so stressed out.
He's sweating a little this morning.
Yeah, I'm sweating a lot this morning, guys. I'm in what might be the creepiest room I've ever been into. Little full disclosure, Laura, the producer, got in my ear and said, oh my God, the dolls. Yes, the dolls. They're really creepy. We're about to enter a place called Shadow Hall, or the Shadow Hall, excuse me, inside the asylum. It is genuinely creepy, and that motion detector that detects spirits keeps going off, and it is really creeping me out. We've got some spirits here. We can't see them, obviously, but they're here. Keeps going off. I'm back. Sharon Coyle, back with me. Why is this called Shadow Hall?
We tend to see a lot of shadows drifting in and out of the doorways and coming from the ramp and up by the infirmary. It just seems to be new moon.
Oh, man.
I don't know when the moon is, but new moon. So we see a lot of shadow people crawling, walking in and out of everywhere. And it seems to just be the way it's set up that you're able to see them very clearly. And you can even see them during the day. I showed you a minute ago.
Yeah.
If you look down the hallway, you see the light drifting on the floor. So even during the day, if a spirit were in one of the rooms and walked across that beam of light on the floor, they would cut the light like a human would, and you'd be able to see shadows during the day,
So
too.
they have a physical enough entity to kind of pass through light sources and distort light.
Yes, they do.
There's a special ghost, though, or excuse me, spirit, sorry, that passes through these doors, right?
Yeah, we have a guy named Big Jack. I don't know a lot about him. He doesn't really talk a lot, but we leave blue light on in here at night, and it makes a nice little ambient light that drifts down, and it will reflect on the wall, and you'll see underneath the door, and you'll see his feet passing underneath the door.
We saw him,
Yeah, and then he'll look out the window. When he does, he blocks out the light behind him so the window looks black. And then there's times where he'll actually open up the doors and go for a walk. We actually saw one video I showed you where somebody was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's right here.
Yep, so yeah, he does that quite a bit.
And you were telling me that you have developed a rapport, if you will,
hope
with
so.
with.
I hope
Me
so.
too.
Because
Me
if
too.
If they can open a door, they can throw you down a flight of stairs, for real. You know? I mean, if they can roll a ball or slam a door, think about it. If they can roll a ball or slam a door, why can't they throw you down a flight of stairs?
They'll get one of these, Sharon.
Well, you
that's why.
can't, though, right? You can't see them. They're like, you pass right through them.
Sharon, how can people find you guys? How can people take advantage of this really an incredible piece of history and really a great time?
It's rollinghillsasylum.com.
Gotta stop doing that.
And you just go on there and you go to come to an event. It has a calendar and you can just buy your tickets right there. We don't take walkouts because we like to know how many people are going to be here so we can control the experience for you.
Now, we're not going to get to see every room in the place today. It's way too big. This place is sprawling. It's massive.
60,000
It's
square feet.
60,000 square feet sprawling. It's massive. Tell us about some of the stuff people can see while they're here.
As far as rooms or
As far
spirits?
as rooms, as far as
there's-
spirits, as far as
there's-
really anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of different rooms. We have a barber shop. We have the morgue, of course. We've got a ladies' hair salon, a kitchen, a butcher shop, a chapel. People really have gotten married in the chapel. We actually had a wedding in the morgue. I think I mentioned that to you. We have a rec room, all kinds of different rooms that were here. Some of them are dedication rooms. We had soldiers from Civil War all the way through the Vietnam War here, so I made a room dedicated to the military, and we have a lot of soldiers that pass through there and have really interact with people. Observe.
No, this is one of the.
This is an ovulus.
This is one of the machines you use to talk to the spirits here, or the spirits used to talk to you.
Well, there's a dictionary that's in this unit programmed in. I think it's about 7,000 or 8,000 words, and the spirits will use their energy to manipulate the electronics of it and learn the dictionary and spit out words. Honestly, I find that's about 70% accurate.
Okay.
I mean, with the conversation, but someone brought this up to me, and I kind of thought about this, but I never really articulated it very much to other people, but it's true. We don't know how long it takes them to hear us. So when we ask a question, either during an EVP session or using something like this, and we get a response, we don't know if it's the same spirit. We don't know if they hear us in live time, 2 minutes, 2 days, 2 years, and who is ever responding to us. Is it live time, or are they responding in 2 minutes?
That's crazy.
So we really don't know.
Yeah.
So sometimes things
Look, guys, I'm a skeptic. I am not a believer in very much. I've seen this stuff. It's here. You got to come check it out. It's really, really neat. Really cool. We're going to be here the rest of the day, so come check us out. We're going to be where we're going to intake next, where we're hopefully going to get to meet some specific.
Maybe intake, maybe down to the barber shop. I don't know where you're going to go.
We're going to see the barber shop. We're going to get Ben a haircut. But until then, guys, let's go back to you. I can't wait. This is going to be such a great rest of the day. It's going to be awesome.
You're going to get our photographer Ben a haircut. It's a place I don't think I want to get a haircut.
Right. I never see the ghosts when I go on these haunted tours. I'm always waiting for that moment where you see something move or you see some kind of shadowy figure. We did one over at Niagara-on-the-Lake a few years back. We went to one of the places where, on the war grounds.
Yes.
And we didn't see anything.
No.
It was dark and spooky, but I was waiting.
Yes, I did a trolley tour in Key West. That was like a spooky ghost tour, which was kind of cool as well.
Yeah, show yourselves, spirits, I would say, and no one came out. This wasn't special enough. All right, coming up, Marty will show himself as he updates us on how long our mild weather will stick around. Weather first after every break.
It opened almost 200 years ago, and the Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany is a popular spot this time of year, a haunted place in western New York. Sam Carter is taking a tour.
Good morning, guys. Back here at Rolling Hills Asylum, and thankfully the sun has come up, and it is a little bit less creepy, but I'm in a dorm, was all I can describe it as, a dorm, joined once again by Sharon Coyle. Sharon, talk to me a little bit about this room, who lived here, and why spirits are especially, and this guy's spirit. Talk to me about it.
Well, we're upstairs in admin, administration, so doctors, nurses, staff members would come up here. Did you just hear that? It was in the closet.
Yeah, it's crazy. Definitely something just happened.
Yeah, so George Fleming, he was the first superintendent here, or one of the superintendents here, and he ended up getting really sick, having a lot of strokes, tracheotomies, things like that. So they moved him over here from across the way so he could have better care. The nurses could take care of him better because the hospital floor is right downstairs. He sounds like he's growling a lot because he does have the tracheotomy.
This is his spirit.
Yep. And he'll come in and communicate with you, but it sounds like he's growling because he has like tracheotomies and strokes in his vocal cords and things. So,
That's so wild. Now, how much of this room was the piano here when you purchased the building?
the organ was here when I purchased the building, but I did talk to a gentleman that knew Mr. Fleming decades, obviously, ago.
Really?
And he said that organ was really in one of the old white dorms that was torn down. So, and Mary Delancey used to play it. So people used to think it was George, but no, it was Mary Delancey.
Well, that's so crazy. And this chair here, we won't say the name, but the chair here, people have had different kind of experiences there, right?
People will sit in the chair and they feel like they're being touched on their shoulder or on top of their head and so forth. Yeah. And then the closet, I just told you about that. It was so funny.
I know.
The closet, people will go in there, and, you know, people like to open up medicine cabinets and closets. They'll go in the, oh, cool closet, and they'll be deep in the closet, and then the door will shut, and there'll be some spirit. It's not George, but he'll hold the handle and won't let you open it up. Yeah, we have him on recorder. He's laughing like he thinks it's the most funniest thing.
No, clear this up for people, because look, I was a skeptic, but I've seen it. There's something here.
And
I don't
you
know
tried
what
the
it is,
dressing room.
but yeah, absolutely. And there's something here. It's not dangerous, though, is it?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't feel that it's dangerous. I mean, there are good people and bad people everywhere.
Sure.
And I said before, if they could roll a ball or slam a door, theoretically, they could, you know, throw you down a flight of stairs. But you know, you treat people well. You know, human beings, flesh. We call them fleshies. So you treat the humans right, and no one's going to hit you, right? But if you come up to somebody and start giving them a what for, and then you might have some dueling between humans, right?
Yeah, sure.
So same thing with spirits. Treat them well. They're not going to, you know, be mean to you.
Absolutely.
They're just human.
And how can people tour this place? How can they get a good look at this place? How can they really learn all the history of this place?
They just go to rollinghillsasylum.com and buy a ticket and come on out. It can be creepy. I mean, you've been here and it was dark down the building, down the basement, and you were kind of wigged out a little bit. It's not, I'm very comfortable. I've been here 12 years. Most people come in here and they're really scared, and they don't like it up here in admin. This is like the most creepiest place for them.
It is really weird up here.
So
I'm
when you
gonna be honest,
walk around, it's really twisty and turny and stuff. So, but yeah, and I hate to say it, sorry, no offense, but usually the men are more scared than the women.
I'm terrified to be here. It's not fun. Like it's genuinely like, I got out of bed this morning and I said to my girlfriend Taryn, I was like, why did I sign up to do this? Why did I? But it's totally worth it. It's a lot of fun. It's totally worth it. Come on out. Check us out. rollinghillsasylum.com.
rollinghillsasylum.com. I mean, you'll get some really cool experiences. I mean, you'll be a little scared because unfamiliar, you're not. Most people are afraid of the unknown anyways, and then when something happens, it's kind of terrifying for them. But it's really exciting, and it kind of hopefully gives people hope for what happens after you die.
Absolutely. Really, absolutely. A really, really great experience. I've had it today. We're going to be here at 8:30 again. We're going to be in the Barber Shop. We had a Barber Shop. Stay with us until then. We're going to learn more about this incredible building, though, right?
Awesome.
Let's rock and roll. Thanks so much. Back to you guys in the studio.
Live from the 13 WHAM News Studios, this is Good Day Rochester on Fox Rochester.
Good morning, 8:30 on this Monday morning. We continue here on Good Day Rochester with a check of your forecast.
It's a beautiful one. Look at that for pretty much most of this week. Today, mostly sunny for much of the day. Warm for October. Highs in the 80s. Plenty of days this week for you to enjoy before things take a turn on Saturday.
Yes.
All right, opened almost 200 years ago, the Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany is known as one of the most haunted places in Western New York.
Yeah, so who better to go there than Scaredy Cat, Sam Carter. We check in with him now.
All right, guys, good morning. We're back down here in the basement of the Rolling Hills Asylum. We're actually in the rec room right now, and we're moving through. Now, this used to be used for shows and things like that. Those are coming back. We had a date to be determined, but right now we're heading to one of my favorite rooms, one of the coolest rooms I've seen. Really, really scary. This is the Barber Shop. All right, guys, now this is where people who are here would get hair clipped and stuff like that. There are spirits here who come here regularly, right?
There's Barber Bill, and he actually was the barber. And you can sit down in the chair and ask for a haircut. And people have said they felt hair dropping on their face, which is really amazing when the guy's bald. It's awesome. Or a long hair will get picked up like this. It's pretty interesting. It happens a lot.
Really?
Yeah. People will say, come in here and ask, have a recorder going, how about giving me a high and tight, military haircut,
sure,
and then all of a sudden
yeah.
you'll hear like a buzzing on the recorder, like they're getting clippers.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So crazy. Now, this was in the basement here, the morgue. We're right around the corner from the morgue where we were earlier this morning. The history of this place must be, is that what attracted you to this place? The history, the spirits of it?
Yeah, the history. I mean, as everyone knows, history is being obliterated left and right. Statues being torn down, everything else. And these properties are being torn down, not even renovated mostly. Most of them are torn down. And it's really a big part of America's fabric of their history. I mean, poorhouses were like the first welfare system.
Sure, yeah.
And then hospitals and infirmaries and so forth. So I wanted to save a historical property, and then the bonus was the place was haunted. And lots of people here, and I wanted to honor them and hopefully give them a little bit of, I guess, love and peace more than what they had when they were here. Sure,
yeah. I mean, this was a pretty grim place to be for these people. I mean, there was a tuberculosis ward here.
Right.
There was the shock therapy centers.
Right.
I mean, people lived. People lived and died here. About how many people died here over the kind of 150 years?
There's only 1,700 documented, which means they have records up, and I think there was many, many more. I mean, there has been a few records that I've seen where they found people dead in bed with no known cause. There's just so much here. There was typhoid, there was Spanish flu.
Sure, I mean, yes, this was open during the Spanish flu pandemic.
Yeah, and women would die in childbirth. They didn't have anything to help you back then. You could get out working in the field, baling hay or working in the barn and get an infection. There was tetanus that wasn't available a lot of times, tetanus shots or penicillin during some years. So people would die very easily or get really sick and have problems. So.
Wow. It was a safety, it was a social safety. It's time, the moment I've been waiting for all day. I'm going to take a seat in this, and I just ask for a haircut?
Yeah, say, Bill, I need a haircut.
I need a haircut.
You actually do. You got a little thing sticking out.
No, I do need a haircut. No, you're right. I felt like a little ripple on the back of my neck, like a hand going up. Really weird.
Well, can you run your fingers through his hair? Maybe you'll give him on high and tight.
We're gonna wait for Bill to do that. We're gonna wait for Bill to run his fingers through my hair. Let's go back to the studio. Thank you very much, Rolling Hills Asylum. RollingHillsAsylum.com, where you can get tickets, details on it. It's really worth your time, guys. It's a lot of fun. It is so creepy in here. You gotta check it out. Let's go back to you guys. This is really neat, though. This is really, really, really neat.
I think the spirits are interrupting with our
signal.
Equipment.
I know. I was going to say that.
I don't think they like everything to be documented.
Yeah.
So when the cameras are rolling, they tend to stay hidden.
Yeah.
But as soon as they turn those cameras off, maybe that's when they'll come out.
It's also the last place I'd want to get a haircut.
Yeah, I don't know if they would be doing a great job, with the edge up. All right, coming up, find out when some rain will return to Rochester.
Marty's got a full look at the forecast when we come back.